Hi, we are now embarking on Module 5, whose title is Free Speech. The question might be asked, why are we delving into this very basic constitutional right that we have in this country when we're talking about parks and recreation? Well, you know, it's really kind of simple, but it's also complex. The First Amendment gives us the right of free association and obviously to speak our mind on issues that we are either for or against. And where do we do this? More often than not, we do it in places where people are going to see and hear us, which means that they are, in many cases, places that are owned by the public. That is, the steps of the courthouse, the steps of the town hall, a park. Okay? And this is how and why we're getting into this issue of free speech. In this particular module, there are several web links that take you to definitions of free speech. There's a one on the first constitutional Supreme Court case on free speech in relation to parks. It's very interesting. It happened in 1948, and it happened rather close by in the city of Lockport, New York. So you might find that to be interesting. There is another website which goes about defining what the Supreme Court has done in categorizing what is a public forum. That is a place of public forum. And then there is another court case out of the Parks and Rec magazine that Dr. Kozlowski has written on. But let's get back to this issue of free speech. About 2 years ago, I attended the state conference down on Long Island, and one of the presentations that I went to was on free speech accommodation in parks. And the individuals that were running the presentation were individuals from the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, that is New York State Parks. And they were relating their experiences in terms of making accommodations for people to voice their opinion. And they were talking about in terms of the state parks on Long Island, because these people were from Long Island, and one of those places was Jones Beach. And the audience, many of the participants that were there to learn, were from small rural towns in upstate New York, and they were extremely surprised at the accommodations they would have to make if someone wanted to, again, voice their opinion. And I use the word voice their opinion because it could be either for a cause or it could be against a cause. And we see this every day, whether we're talking about issues of the wars that we're currently fighting, or immigration, or abortion, or any number of other issues that are near and dear to the hearts of Americans. And like I said, we have to, in Parks and Recreation, provide opportunities for people to voice their opinions, because parks are owned by the people. And so it's important that you have an understanding, at least a basic understanding, of what you as a Parks and Rec director has to do in terms of ensuring the public's right of free speech in public places, that is parks. Now, this may happen at an event like, say, the Lilac Festival, or one of the many Canal Day festivals that occurred here along the Erie Canal. You know, and if some group comes to you, you've got to provide some sort of public accommodation. It doesn't mean that they can walk willy-nilly through the crowd, okay? But you may designate a place where people can voice their opinions. We've done this, the National Park Service has done this in several locations in Washington, D.C., for instance. The courts have set up places for public discourse. I've tried without success to find the particular items in terms of regulations and whatnot for New York State parks, and I have not been successful, and I apologize for that. I've tried. But the items that are in this particular module will give you a basic background in what's expected of Parks and Rec people in terms of ensuring the rights of every citizen of the United States. So that's what this is. This is what this module is about. Okay? So look at the websites, do the website exploration, and then we'll also have one or two other items that you have to do. I don't foresee a quiz again. I don't think that'll happen. There's not a lot of terms here that you need to learn, except the fact that you should understand the three categories of what defining a public forum is. So that's about it from here right now. We'll have one more module. We've really only got about 2 weeks left. And it'll be one module that's titled Regulations, and there's going to be a number of topics in there. So I hope you all had a good 4th of July, and I'll see you on the internet.